Hello, everybody. Tashi Delach. Okay, today we are very late, and but it's okay. Today we're going to have a small introduction. The most simple as possible we can understand. So maybe we talk about today only three things, okay? Three things. First one, we have to understand at least rough idea of what is the natural law, which means is not man-made, is not great God create, it is not Buddha create, it's natural law. And then the Buddha Dharma is to understanding the natural law. Okay? So this we must understand first. If we not understand this, then we talking about Shambhala, talking about Amitabha, Purelands. We talking baseless. We have no base. If we have no base, we cannot distinguish what is the truth as the untruth. So first, we need base. So base, we don't have to know other religion, but we have to know what Buddha Dharma say. So that is 84,000. So may you think it's not easy to understand, but we don't have to know 84,000 yet, but we have to know the fundamental rules of play. First thing, we have to have at least a rough idea, understanding the karmic law. And then we have to understand how we play the karmic law. And then we have to understand something, how can we go beyond karma? How we can free from karmic law. If we understand that, three, then we understand the natural law and the Buddha Dharma, how to play with natural law. Okay? I hope that clear. Then say, first we have to understand what is karma. Karma means action, activities. Who do the action and activities? We all do 24/7. Everybody do 24/7. Not only with our body, speech, mind, all the time active. Which one is the boss? The mind is the boss, and then the speech and body is servant for the boss. So that means who deciding? Who is karmic producer? Is the mind. But the mind only know act but don't know the consequence. But every action you have the consequence. But you don't know how to apply this. Yes, we have a little bit intellectual ideas, but practically we not knowing how to play this role very well. Therefore, we produce too much negativities because ignorance. Basis of ignorance, and then we have emotions such as anger, hatred, desire, attachment, jealous, so forth. Then our mind under control those. That means no freedom, not free from karmic, not free from karma. Karma is you producing yourself, but that means you are not free from your actions. And you are not free from the consequence of actions. So that means anything we do, body, speech, mind, virtues, actions, when we try to generate compassion, love, kindness, our body and speech also swing, acting for that. That means again another karma, but positive. So why we do that? Is that make free us from karma? No. The only do is you pacify the negative karma. You reducing the negative karma. Or you can say you push away these negative karmas. These negative karmas coming to you as a karmic result to experience, but push away. Change the order, basically. All the positive, negative karma coming together as order, as like a cue to you, but you change it order because you produce more positive karma, so then change it order. So all the negative karmic result is delays. That's all. But not free from karma. We have to understand that. Why we have to understand this? If we have to understand this, then we have a better understanding. What is the causes of conditions to reborn Purelands, like that kind of. But if we don't know nothing, we just blindly believe, is not a very stable path. I say again, it's not going to be very stable path. Not stable means even temporarily seems okay, but is going to be fail your this path. Fail means you're going to have a doubt, you're going to have no confidence. So then you don't know what you're doing. So that's very important to know first. Okay, then what is free from karma? That means we knock in our base. Our base means the base of ignorance. If we knock over that, then you are free from karma. But knock over this is not easy. This doesn't matter, you just do virtuous actions, doesn't knock over. It's still you are, even is virtuous actions based on the ignorance. So we have to knock over, or you can say destroy, or you can say eliminate the ignorance. Otherwise, always in the range of the karma, not out of the karma. In the range of the karma means everything impermanent. For a while, okay, everything, and then obstacles come, or negativities come. Everything like that. So impermanent means unstable. Unstable means not trustworthy. Not trustworthy means suffering. Okay? So Buddhists describing suffering, you have to understand that kind of subtle, not pain. Pain is everybody know, even animal knows is suffering. We don't discuss this, we don't need discuss. But if the Buddha Dharma, understanding suffering means the impermanent, instability. And that means connecting us suffering. So we have to understand that. So then free from karma means we knock over our ignorance, which means, which kind of ignorance? Or we don't know how to use a computer, that ignorance, you know, it's not talking about that kind of ignorance. We talking about the ignorance of how you say, the nature, the fundamental nature. This subtle and permanent. And why is it impermanent? These things we don't understand. Even it's easy to know the obvious level of impermanent. Even easy to discuss the subtle of impermanent through the science, through the many things, philosophy. To understand intellectually is not that hard, but you can't experience this subtle impermanent. Why you don't experience this subtle impermanent? Because the base is wrong. The base is wrong means we something illusion things we see is not illusion, and then based on this, then we make in karma. The whole karmic range is based on nothing, basically. there is no base. Baseless, we make a base as illusion. So that's the reason is not trustworthy. Having said that, we have to understand there is illusory truth. So you may say, oh, how come if it's illusory, how can it be truth? Yes, there's illusory truth because when we watch television, we have rise emotions. Even if it's not real, even a story, made up story. And when we have dream, we experience suffering and happiness both because even is baseless, even is not real. Exactly same, the whole life is baseless, illusion, but we still there's illusionary truth. So the karma means illusory truth, okay? Illusory truth. Positive karma, negative karma, both is illusory truth. Illusory truth. So that means when you practice Buddha Dharma, are you saying you practice Dharma in illusory world and you apply an illusory karma and you producing more illusory positive karma and reducing illusory negative karma? Means that you are free from karma means you know the truth or is illusion. Okay? And then with this understanding, you're doing everything, you going beyond of the karma. So that means you are enlightened path. Enlightened path means go beyond karma, not a range of the karma. In the range of the karma, anything we do, we can say toward to enlightenment, maybe you can say, but you cannot say enlightenment path. You can say toward to enlightenment path, you can say, because if you, a lot of illusory positive karma you produce it, taking you a better dream, you know. Some dream methods, you can avoid the nightmare and you can have a better dream. And the better dream, and also you recognize the dream and then you can wake up from the dream when you want. So that is similarly, when we have an illusory positive karma a little more, that means we make this illusory life better, next life better, and then eventually lead you beyond karma. So only can do that, but rare enlightenment, you have to understand our Buddha nature. We have to understand the truth, go beyond this illusory karmic realm. Okay? So that is the basic Buddhist Buddha Dharmas, understanding the nature. So then is the Buddhist path. You can have a Buddhist path for samsara, and you have a Buddhist path for liberation from samsara, and then you have a Buddhist path in bodhisattva way, a path, and then you have Buddhist path and Vajrayana way of path. You can have 4 Okay? So Buddhist path in samsara, you don't have to go beyond karma. You don't have to understand selflessness, no self, no emptiness, Buddha nature. Those things you don't have to, you don't need to understand. You just need understanding positive karma, negative karma, virtues, non-virtues. So you just avoiding non-virtues and engaging with virtues actions. That's it. This take you a better rebirth, better rebirth, better rebirth, and better. That's all. Maybe sometimes go down, but again you have more, then go down short and then go longer higher. If you want to liberate from samsara, then you have to understand what we think now is the truth. True is not the truth. Okay? Whenever you understand this, and then your all actions and your attitude and motivation, everything go along together, what you understand in, not just intellectually understanding and then all actions go separate, but your heart there, then you will liberate from samsara. That means liberate means you are free from samsara, free from karma, both positive and negative. That is we can call Hinayana path, we call Theravada path, we can call liberation path. Now I'm talking about bodhisattva, okay, bodhisattva path. Bodhisattva, they have to understand that what we talk about already. But on the top of this bodhisattva path means there's extra very unique one that we call bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means it's not just to have love and compassion, kindness. It's something more than that. It's something more than that. What is more than that? Is a sense of responsible liberation for all such beings. It's not just the normal liberation, what we talk about, but liberate, the ultimate liberate, the Buddhahood. That kind of responsibility you want to take. This is incredibly unique. So first we have to understand this is so unique because this is kind of like unimaginable. And for some people, this is, like unrealistic, something impossible. But this is possible. If this is not possible, or in Latin, Buddhas cannot be possible. But this is absolutely possible. But it could be appears impossible for other people, for other sentient beings. But what does mean this? Boil down, you don't really care you are a Buddhahood or not. You don't really care you are suffer or not suffer. You only care others, all sentient beings. It's become like that. So that means usually people think, oh, then I want to liberate quickly, I want to liberate quickly, I want to escape samsara very quickly, fast. When you say this, very dangerous, you become like Arahat path, Hinayana path. If you are Bodhisattva path, you don't care how long it take. You only care want to liberate sentient being. Then you think, okay, why then bodhisattvas also want to reach Buddhahood? They want to reach Buddhahood is the only reason. If they reach Buddhahood, then you can do more powerful than who's not Buddha. That's only care. But not about, oh, I want to end this quickly. I have no patience. It's not that reason. If you understand the reason, then you don't really care how long it takes. When you become like that, then you have no more suffer. Because all our suffering comes from self-cherishing. No understand the truth, come from that, the root. When you don't have that root, you cannot be suffer. That's why you don't care how long you stay in samsara, you don't care. As long as you benefit sentient beings all the time, that's it. And then why want a Buddhahood? Because you benefit more. You have more, your ability is more. Why? Because when you are Buddhahood, you have much more innumerable emanations. That's the only reason you care. Otherwise, you wouldn't. That means for yourself, you don't care in samsara or in Buddhahood. Only you care for sentient beings. Bodhisattva path is like that. That's what you have to understand. So then Vajrayana path. Vajrayana path means you have to based on bodhisattva path. Why? If you are not based on the bodhisattva path, then you try to practice Vajrayana, is dangerous. Why dangerous? Because it's so profound. So profound means sometimes it becomes simple. Looks like simple. Looks like back to no samsara. Look like. Why? Because all the negativities we think anger, jealous, desire, attachment, all of them we need abandon. Now becomes you don't need abandon, you need to use them. So that's why it looks like, oh, becomes normal again. And look like that. But if you have a basis of bodhicitta, and then you have basis of the Vajrayana itself, and then yes, then this anger, desire, everything becomes a part. Instead, you need abandon. But if no base bodhicitta, then it's dangerous. So we have to understand that. Okay. Now, why I want to talk this subject? Because I want people educated. Why I want educated? I want spiritually educated, not samsaric education. Myself, I never been even primary school. The samsara, you guys million times educated than me. But the spiritually we have to educate it. Why? Because if you not take a spiritual path is like your education, if you don't take like that way, you remain ignorance. That means your faith and your spiritual path based on ignorance. If it's based on ignorance, then no stable path, very easy fail, very easy destroy, very easy vanish. everything. Yes. Okay. So that's why. Even samsara level, if you not educated the spiritual part yourself, you listen everybody, everything, others. Sometimes the religious institutions, they just sometimes become a boss. And then if their religious leaders or, these spiritual teachers, leaders, if they're good, really have bodhicitta, then okay. But otherwise, you guys just becomes a servant for them. And you guys just a tool of what they want, and your spiritual path is based on ignorance. Rely on them. Whatever they say, oh, I have to do this, without understanding the reason. So that means you could go a wrong path, or even not totally wrong, but is a kind of your path is definitely not stable. You very easy to lose confidence. So that's why I really wish everybody takes like education. Do you know this? I compare these things and talk you frankly, is need a lot of courage. Do you know that? Need a lot of sacrifice. Why? Because not everybody doing. Everybody too scared to make a statement, strong statement. So I have to make that strong statement other people too scared of. This, you need a lot of gut. You need a lot of courage. Why I want to do it? Because I want everybody educated. Especially even yourself is too old and not too educated spiritually, but your children, your grandchildren, you must educate it. Why do you know? Not only that, what a reason, your individual problem, but also if you would like to Buddha Dharma to remind a longer life in our world, we have to educate it, the younger people. They cannot be based on ignorance forever. Because the traditional way is always the lay people don't know nothing, and the monastery and the others, whatever they say, they just believe that. But you have to know yourself. This is Buddha said, not I said it. It's Buddha said it. So I am try to be messenger of the Buddha and try to telling you the most important Buddha himself said, and I remind you, say, I want to educate you. Okay? So that means, let's say Amitabha practice, Amitabha Pureland practice. I heard that huge followers in China follow this. Vietnam and other Asians, even Tibetans. I would say almost everybody, or the lay people, they're doing this. So that means this is incredibly popular, right? Popular path. Is that means anything is popular, that means is really good? Not necessarily. Something material and shoes or something easy to judge things, socks or anything material things very easy to judge, good socks or not good socks, good shoes or not good shoes. That is, if it's popular, maybe good one. But profound things is meant to be profound things it's very popular. Could be really good, that's why popular, or could be ignorance. Could be both. So we have to analyze which one is really important. So that means you think, am I against the Amitabha path? The answer is no way. My Lama, my root master, he is one of the excellent practice and teaching Amitabha path. And he whole life used the Amitabha sutras and commentary texts, almost run down that text, only one handwriting, only one gave to me. So how can I'm against, like Amitabha path? That's impossible. If I do this, I'm ignorance. I'm not. But we need few things analyze. The analyze, maybe we don't have a lot of time today, but we're going to tomorrow continue to analyze. When we follow Amitabha Pureland practice, are we understanding or we not understanding? That's we analyze. Is anybody teach you this logically or not? That's we're going to analyze. Is this fitted in Buddha Dharma role? That we analyze. Is this we doing something in karmic range or something we doing beyond karma? That's we're going to analyze. Is Amitabha Pureland have to be beyond karmic range, or even Amitabha Pureland could be in karmic realm? These things we have to analyze. So we make sure we are the right path. Or even as a right path, am I doing the right thing? Am I the ignorance or am I doing okay? We have to analyze that. Okay? On the other hand, Shambhala Pureland, that's also very, very strange. Why? Because entire of the Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism, entire of the all Buddhism, 84,000. We have only one message. Our world going to transform as perfect peace and harmony, golden age again, next few hundred years, within the few hundred years. That is the only reason Shambhala talk about. This is the reason the Shambhala, Pure Land we talk about. But this is in the Kalachakra Tantra. And so the Kalachakra Tantra, then we look at first because of Shambhala, the Kalachakra, Buddha taught Kalachakra because of Shambhala, and then remand because of Shambhala, established because of Shambhala, transferred is because of Shambhala, and later on transform our world because of Shambhala. There is only Shambhala, Pure Land, is directly interacting in our world, not Amitabha Pure Land, not Akshobhya Pure Land, not Aranyasambhava, not Amoghasiddhi, okay, not even Varachana, only Shambhala, not even Guru Rinpoche, not even the Taras, not even Lodrö, okay, only Shambhala. If that case, that's most important is science like Shambhala. So everybody should be very popular and everybody should know everything what we to do with Shambhala, right? But the reality is, come to the Shambhala, kind of everybody becomes ignorance. Everybody is talkless. Everybody mute. And sometimes there's silly argument and the very, very surface. But there's no deep down discussion of the Shambhala. So that is also very big subject. So now, tomorrow onward, we have to compare what is the Shambhala, what is Amitabha, what is different, how come, what we going to do with, which one we possibility for us, we analyze and we get a conclusion, okay? Because Amitabha, this is popular and a wide range of practicing, but Shambhala, almost nobody practicing. And then, but the reason behind the Shambhala is so big and the Amitabha, not much. We will discuss tomorrow. If you have huge reasons, oh, because Amitabha popular, logical reasons, you bring and we talk. So that's why this paradox, this is incredible. So that's why we need this very clear. We really need this clear. So that's why I'm saying, to talk this need a lot of gut, need a lot of courage, need a lot of sacrifice, because this is people not compare before. So in that way, it's controversial, kind of controversial, because people, anything new, people can't accept. So then it becomes controversial. But need a lot of gut means Encourage means nobody want to talk because firstly don't know, secondly don't want to involved. But what I care is everybody. Everybody deserve have understanding clear spiritual path, not based on ignorance. Okay? So if there is a faith, but the faith we have to examine. Is the faith or your faith, your belief, is it strong? You have backbones, or you are very unstable base? We have to analyze this. Otherwise, we waste our precious human birth. Once only opportunity, we going to waste. What the most waste we can do? So we don't want that waste. We all don't want be ignorant. Do you want to be ignorance? I'm sure nobody want to be ignorant. I'm sure nobody want unstable base. I'm sure everybody like to have confidence in your path. I'm sure everybody like happy to past, not scared to die. Nobody want die with ignorance. Do you? You know, like you don't know what you're doing. Oh, I did Amitabha prayer whole life. Maybe okay, but I don't know. Would you like that, or you feel 100%? Which one do you like? So thus, I think we need to talk, discuss very, very clearly.